Hello, this is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com, bringing you my first league match with my Outlaw Aristocrat deck that I wrote an article about a month ago or so. I have one land and so many cutthroats. Would another land make this hand playable? We do have one fatal push. We're going to ship it. And yet, we have yet again another land. A single land. 2 Ragavans. No fatal pushes. Oh man, okay, well, we'll keep and probably put Cutthroat to the bottom and just hope for the best, because that Bloodstained Mire is looking pretty good right now compared to basic Swamp in our hand with 2 Ragavans. So yeah, we're playing this Outlaw Aristocrat deck, looking to take advantage of the Outlaw type, creature type. Okay. Ooh, what are we playing? Domain. Land. Alright, Bloodstained Mire. And we will play Ragavan and see what happens. So it looks like we're playing a Domain Zoo deck. Whew, got lucky with that land off the top at least. Now we can play our hand, we can play some magic. Now whether or not we can keep up with our opponent's start, I don't know. Or what they're going to follow it up with if they get hit their all their land types and cast Leyline Binding here to get rid of the Ragavan. I think they'll just go for combat first. Yeah, we'll take it because we know their follow-up play is probably a Cavo, at which point we'll be sad. But yep, I mean, we have answers. We just need to draw those answers. It's possible we just want to. I mean, yeah, they didn't have the ley line of the guild pack at least. We can start jump blocking. See what they do. I mean, we'll trade the Voidwalker with the Wild. I mean, they're gonna Leyline Binding something. I imagine they'll get rid of the Voidwalker. At which point, I don't know what we're gonna do. Suppose if they don't have a follow-up. Although I imagine there's a Draco coming our way right now. Yep. So opponent kept 7 and had just a beautifully aggressive start. The interesting that they chose to tap this white mana as opposed to I think the Shadow can't even block. I keep forgetting about Shadow not being able to block. I mean, we're gonna not block just in case we draw a Lightning Bolt. Could happen. We play him. So yeah, we just really behind the 8 ball already from the jump, being on the draw, mulliganing to 6, and having a hand that we didn't want to go to 5, but we had no removal. So the fatal push might have been a nice draw. Oh man, I mean, we can swing in with the team. I don't think they'll probably just take it, but we'll see. They might block. Yeah, they'll block and then trust that we don't have any follow-up. So we can go ahead and play another Ragavan and a Tinybones. I mean, they're already down to 9, so we're not that far off. We'll go to 2, hit them to 6. I probably should have paid more attention to their life total and just run out another Voidwalker. Kept the Ragavan back, and we would have died, though. Surprised we haven't seen a Leyline Binding. This might be the time. First Strike Trample. Alright, well, they don't have, it doesn't have lifelink yet, but I think we're dead here. So first strike, trample. Yeah, we can scoop it up. Okay, so what do we want to bring in against? There's our fatal push. So we have a lot of ways to deal with their things. Blood Moon seems pretty good. If it can be fast enough. I'm not sure we'll be fast enough though. Bowmasters is actually doesn't seem to be that great against our opponent's strategy since their creatures are so big and so quick, so big so quickly. Take out one Ob Nixilis perhaps, even though it's one of the few things we have that can block. Ragavan isn't on its best either. Yeah, I mean, that's Domain Zoo, one of the most aggressive decks out there with overpowered undercosted creatures. See if we can get a playable 7 with some removal. I mean, Fatal Push is pretty good. Man, alright, 0 lands in our... We do only play 21, but still. Doesn't help with... Oh, God. Alright, well, we have a Thoughtseize and we have a Bolt. We don't have anything else. Should we just... I think we'll just put the Kingpin to the bottom. Opponent's starting to 7. See if they have a ley line to get the party started. Oh, they're going to 6. Alright. This is not the way you want to go. Things to go in your first match of the league when you're essentially the mulliganing. Maybe we should just kept that first hand, the one lander, but I don't think it would have helped any either. So Reprieve, Tear Asunder, I guess, to get rid of Blood Moon. Reprieve for the counter magic. What do we care about? We'll get rid of the Tear Asunder in case we draw a Blood Moon. Alright, so our opponent has a pretty unaggressive start. Can we actually take advantage of it though? We don't have any follow-up. We really need like a Ragavan would be great, a dashed Ragavan. Just something that's not a land. We can cast almost anything we draw if it's not a land and it's not an Ob Nixilis. Alright, well, I did say a dashed Ragavan would have been great. We spoke it into existence. I mean, that's probably our best draw. It will set us up for a turn 3 Nixilis next turn. Sacred Foundry, so we're just getting rid of the lands for them. Alright, well next turn we can play this Ob Nixilis depending on what our opponent does. If they decide they want to cast this Brawler as a blocker. We'll get around the Reprieve, and hopefully they don't draw into a Leyline Binding. I mean, I suppose if they... just a Kapu, okay, well... It's a pretty good draw for our opponent. So bolt the Kavu, set us up to dash in the Ragavan. Get the treasure, play the Ob Nixilis. Probably won't be able to do that all this turn, but that's okay. Go ahead and get another hit in. I had in my head that we'd be able to do it all this turn, but I forgot we'd have to pay the 2 mana to dash. Convenient. Ragavan does a lot, but not that much. A lightning bolt. That would have been nice to just have to kill their next threat. Alright, opponent goes to 10. We do have an Ob Nixilis to play. Next turn we can go Ob Nixilis Ragavan. And maybe we'll play around this reprieve. So this difference between play and draw, that's for sure. You can see how much better being on the play is in this matchup. Just getting ahead on board, being able to Molten Collapse to, well, we'll save that, I guess. Don't think our opponent was expecting Nixilis. Did they find a Leyline Binding? They're down to 3 cards we don't know about after drawing. Oh, we got a Fatal Push. Alright. Grow our Ob Nixilis. That'll be good for next turn, assuming they don't find an answer for the Ob. And they do, of course. Go ahead and get in for 5. Makes sense. We will not be blocking. So, we'll Fatal Push this. Ooh, Voidwalker is nice. Get in with the Ragavan. I feel like even if we manage to sneak this game out, Lightning Bolt, sure. So they drew into some removal. Do they have a way to answer this? Stubborn Denial, Power 4 greater. Yeah, that's pretty frustrating. Man, opponent managed to draw into multiple answers. So they've only found the one threat, but they drew a Leyline Binding, a Lightning Bolt, and a Stubborn Denial. And that's 2 lightning. Well, we got one. We stole one of their Lightning Bolts. So yeah, good on opponent there for drawing into many threats. Or many answers and no threats. So we know they still have the reprieve. They're going to swing in for 5. We will Molten Collapse. We'll see what we draw though. Maybe we'll draw a Lightning Bolt. Another Ragavan. So we can dash in. How much is this? 5. We go to 1. We dash it in. They're going to reprieve to draw a card. We put them to 4. See if they reprieve here. What do we find? Kavu. We can play that, right? They're going to reprieve that though. It's only a 2/2. Here comes the reprieve, yeah, alright. Alright, so we got that out of their hand. Now, can we fade a draw that they don't have? I don't even know what we want, basically. We don't want a Lightning Bolt, that's for sure, because then we're just dead. So that's the risk we're taking by letting them get another attack in. As we just died to a Bolt. We could have tried to Molten Collapse last turn and gotten them down to 6, and then they would have drawn the Kavu. Did they find the answer? Or the kill spell, burn spell, whatever. And they did. Well, I mean, our opponent drew extraordinarily well. They managed to top deck a Leyline Binding, a Lightning Bolt, and a Stubborn Denial. And then we stole a Kavu off the top. We knew about the Reprieve, and then they top decked the Tribal Flames off of one of those 2 draws. So, I mean, that's the way it is in Magic sometimes. Pretty frustrating, though, to feel like opponents drawing. It's already hard to beat this deck and then have opponent drawing such just every answer in the books. But I guess if they weren't drawing answers, they'd been drawing threats. All right, well, for CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. We'll get the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my website, CyclesGaming.com, for original Magic the Gathering content. You can read about my Commander decks or my Janky Modern brews. My latest article is about the Zombie Precon and its effect on Commander. I give you a couple different deck lists. If you're interested in a science fiction/fantasy novel, be sure to check out my book, The Podkind. I'm publishing it serially, a couple chapters every month. Again, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.